Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and kittens, welcome back to the podcast. Thank you. The home of all things KUJI, right here on the podcast, and we thank you for joining us. The podcast is your home for rational crypto news and objectivity, leaving emotion at the door, talking about what we like, why we like it, and where we see it going. We are not offering financial advice. We are telling you what we do, and that is all. We don't slow down. We don't let up. Full speed is our only speed. I'm your host, Scott, pragmatic investor who has won and lost fortunes. Yay. And joining me, as always, is the greatest producer of all time, Belle. How you doing tonight, Belle?
You know what? I'm doing fantastic tonight, Scott. How are you tonight?
Better if my stream deck was working. We got the ghost voice of Bella tonight. It's not flipping frames. You know what? I don't know. Yeah, I know. I'll figure it out. Anyway, here at the podcast, we have anyway, as I just dismissed my producer, we have a tendency to talk about what others are not talking about and bringing the focus onto use case cryptos because, as we know, these are what drive the market and bring innovation to a world that desperately needs it. The status quo, it's no longer acceptable. It's time for a technological revolution. Welcome to crypto. Welcome to the podcast. And thank you. So, yeah, Belle, just when you thought it couldn't get worse for the poor KUJI people, man, the hits just keep on coming over there. I was going to put up my drum fill sound effect, but it really wouldn't matter because it doesn't look like the stream deck is doing much. I'm going to have to do it from this side over here. That sucks. I personally consider this a just a massive issue, and it's something that they just did today, and they did it unbeknownst to anybody. It just they went in with their keys and altered a contract. That's what they did. They altered a contract in the on the lending protocol, and they used their admin keys to do it, and they changed the APR, the lending APR on that from 300% to 15%, just arbitrarily. Bam, it was 300%, now it's 15%. Now, as these people, the folks that are actually over in that thing, their funds are locked, all right? They can't get them out. There's not enough liquidity to withdraw them. They effectively right now have an absolutely trapped audience and just put all of the risk onto them and removed it from the protocol. And the best part is that people are clapping right now. They're applauding it. They're saying, yeah, no, they have to do that. They have to, make sure that everybody's protected. Everybody except that, that has USD or USK locked on that protocol. They had a deal. 300%. That's what it was, man. Look, and it's kind of funny to me because all the brouhaha right now is the tech is working perfectly. It is doing exactly what it's supposed to be doing. The tech is fantastic until it isn't. And then suddenly, admin keys can come in here and alter parameters and change the deal of the people that they made the deal with. So they didn't vote on this. It wasn't brought to the attention of the community. It was none of these things. It was simply arbitrarily changed from 300% to 15%. And do you know who loves that? Anybody who is not in that pool. Anybody who does not have their funds locked absolutely loves that because it ain't hitting them. It's hitting everybody else. And that's what we're about over here on KUJI, is spreading the risk onto the investors and very little of it on the team itself. That is brutal. And the fact that they could do that should be sending up freaking flares everywhere. Everybody should be looking at this right now and saying, you just broke the rules. Grown-up DeFi. That's what you've been pitching the entire time, is grown-up DeFi. And as soon as everything goes south, because you caused it to go south, as soon as it goes south, when it comes time to saying, do we take responsibility for this? No, you don't. You use the admin keys, you go in there and you alter a contract and change it from 300% to 15%. And it's the perfect time to do it because anybody who disagrees with this that says that is not enough APR for the risk I'm taking, well, there's nothing you can do about it. You're stuck. You're just going to have to sit there and eat it the same way that you had to eat it on the way down. And I noticed that there's just not a lot of chatter about this on the Twitter. There's a couple things. A couple people have pointed it out. And they've gotten the KUJIans. They like to attack in packs. They're pack hunters. They don't want to stand on their own argument or stand alone. They stand with an army because that's what you have to do. You need people to shore up, really just hit the hell out of you with confirmation bias for anything that you say. You're right, bully. Look at him. Buy that man a drink. So Anybody who even points it out is getting attacked now. It's not like they did it. They didn't go in with the admin keys and change it. KUJI did that. They did it all by themselves. So as soon as you point it out, all of a sudden you're the bad guy. You're the problem. It's influencers. They're the problem. Not you arbitrarily changing a contract with no vote of governance because you really don't have one. You're as centralized as they come. So as soon as that happens, everybody else is the bad guy, and they're the good people that are simply trying to protect themselves. And they're trying to protect the shareholders and the stakeholders and the investors and all that other good stuff. I don't think you could have did anything worse than that. And I have your whole proposal up here. We're going to read it. We're going to hit it frame by frame. We're going to go over all of it. I don't think you could have done anything worse to absolutely blow up your entire community, the people who trust you, more than that. I figured it out real quick, and it's the most vocal in that whole area are just the least informed, least intelligent, whatever you want to do. They're just yelling. They just want to yell. You know, they had $600 in there that's now worth $150, and their lives are getting ruined. So they're just gonna, oh God, look at you, look at you. There are people over there that got wrecked for millions, and still have millions that are simply locked up there at 15% with no hope of recovery unless the plan works. So we're going to go ahead and get into the plan. I find the plan fucking hysterical. I mean it, man. Look, you can't write this stuff. If I was going to write it, I'd write it just about like this. But you can't, because that's the plan as it's being put forward. And I find it hysterical that it's almost mob tactics at this point. This is a great place you have here. It would be a shame if something happened to it. So we're going to get into the nitty gritty. We're going to get into that very, very, we're going to get into that right after the next song and on the first break, because I think it's interesting. But keep in mind, guys, look, man, this is a Saturday, dude. I have no particular bias in this. I think you fucked up everything that you possibly could, and you are just doubling down. I mean, you're at stupid cubed now. We're way past squared. All right, we are in stupid cubed, and it just seems like nothing. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter what you think, what you feel, what you do, because they are going to do exactly what they want to do, and it's your money. It's your money. And people are just okay with it. They're sitting here golf clapping all of these bad decisions and the doubling down on everything, man. It is amazing to me. Anyway, we'll get into all of that. Belle, do we happen to have any questions, comments, or concerns?
We have one question and one comment so far.
Okay.
Microman, can every project go in with admin keys and do that? That's a bombshell.
Yeah, you would think. There's nothing that they could do I would put past them now. I mean, just absolutely nothing. And the fact that they did it, they did it is all the more proof that I need that they should never have been closed source. At least not with what they were doing, because anybody else would have been able to get in there, look at him, audit it, and say, oh my God, look at here, man, there's a back door. They can do whatever the hell they want. Anybody would have seen that. But that never happened. That never actually occurred because they're a closed source platform, and now we know why. There's a lot of light that's being shined on all of this. Now, I have an opinion. I have an opinion on virtually everything, man. That's what we're an op-ed channel. That's opinion editorial. I can do whatever the hell I want. I have an opinion on this, actually, and I think the best thing that they could do is nothing. The best thing that they could do for themselves, their platform, everything right now is absolutely nothing. Let the market sort it out. Right now, they're pitching this stuff up as you're going to be able to buy KUJI on Pilot, and you're going to get really, really good terms and really, really good rates and all that. And all you got to do is buy. Now, we're only accepting USDC or USK, but we're going to, we'll get into that. What was the comment, Belle? Go.
Okay.
Oh, hey, look, it worked now. It worked. You're on screen.
Well, and actually, Eric was just chiming in, relating to that question, and he flat out says, okay, yeah, just about yes, until a DAO oversees the admin contracts. Like, yes, Astrovault specifically could unilaterally change how the pools work and rug people, but again, there's DAO oversight, so no. it
Yeah,
could be done.
they
Yeah.
don't really have any of that. Eric, are you just sitting there? Are you sitting at your computer watching this? Because if you are, go ahead and hop on. Bell will send
Dude,
you a Zoom invite and just pop on, dude. I mean, what the hell? You don't
dude.
have to watch. You can talk. What, Bell?
I sent him that question over Telegram. I don't think
Oh, okay.
he's watching quite yet.
Okay. Well, it was that his. Where did that question come from? Was that not him typing it?
Well, okay, so that answer did come from Eric over
Uh,
Telegram.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. No, tell him if he ain't doing shit. Pop on, man. We're gonna have a lot of fun here. All right, guys. Yeah. Look, man, it's Saturday. We're gonna be going for about 2 hours. I got so much that I have to get to, but we're going to parse them out. So we got some very good songs queued up. Anybody has a song that they would like to hear tonight? If you wanna, we have about 5 or 6 of them here queued up. And if you would like to jump the queue and get your song played next, you got to tip Bell $1. $1. Round of applause. Producer got to eat. I know crypto's hard, man, but it's $1. All right, and you get to play a song. Unlike what is about to happen, you actually get something for your dollar. You get to hear the song that you want to hear, and you get to hear it live on the podcast. All right, let me see. Which one do I want to play? I'm trying to figure out what kind of a mood I'm in. I loved opening with Captain and Tennille. By the way, nobody. They simply don't get enough credit. It's a great song. It's a great everything. So, yeah, I loved opening with Captain and Tennille. I'll tell you what, let's play something a little bit more modern. How about that? Not exactly ultimately modern, but an excellent cover of an excellent song. So, ladies and gentlemen, I hope that you like the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and kittens, welcome back to the podcast. Sorry about that. I'm fumbling with my stream deck. Bell got me a great big one. So it's the big 24 button, and I got everything up there, and sometimes I struggle with it. So it turns out that the neck will be joining us shortly. So the thing I was going to read, I will wait for the neck to get on here so that we can both have a giggle together, and he could probably, I just, if he's got a different viewpoint on what I read and the way I see it, then great. I want to make sure that you guys hear that. It can't just be me. I'm not here to talk at you. I'm here to talk with you. But I don't even understand why this came out. I found it on Twitter, and this one is from Dove, and it was over in their Telegram. But I think I know why they post in Telegram and not so much over on X. But yeah, they put this up there, and obviously it was cut
but
and
wait,
sent over.
Eric is joining us as we speak. I think his audio is connecting. So yeah.
Okay, well then we'll do the other piece because I think it's more interesting. Let me wait till he actually gets on. Nick, are you on?
Yes,
Eric.
sir. Hey guys.
There he is. All right, dude. You ready to have some fun?
I'm ready. What's going on?
Okay, I'm going to read the KUJI proposal or the fix, and I'm going to hit it line by line, and I'm going to tell you what I think it means, and then I want you to tell everybody what you think it means. How's that going to work for you?
Let's do it.
Okay, so good morning, everyone. This is from Team KUJI, and it's pulled on X verbatim. I'm not changing a word. Thanks for bearing with us the last couple of days. After a whole lot of discussions and taking on feedback from the community and various investors, chains, and future partners, we'd like to announce our recovery plan. So anybody who is currently sitting over there on KUJI, this is your future. All right. This is what is going to be happening. And God have mercy on your soul. Number one, the operational debt will be repaid via 2 individual pilot sales. One to repay the USDC debt, which is substantial, and one to repay the USK debt, which is also substantial. Now, the reason that is kind of a bigger deal right now is the fact that even though they don't actually call it bad debt, it is absolutely crushing bad debt. They've been really, really careful to tiptoe around that. Well, it's not bad debt. It's not bad debt until people come to collect. Then it's bad debt. But see, right now, people are coming to collect, and they can't. Eric, why can't they collect?
Because it's not real money. It's not there. It's fake.
All right. So let me say I had $35,000 of USDC that I had put over there into Ghost, into the lending protocol. And when I go to pull it out right now, it says there's insufficient liquidity. Now, what happened to the $35,000 that I put in there? Was that not my money?
It was, but you lent it out to somebody else, and they've got it.
Okay. So how do I get it back from them?
Oh, well, you do exactly what they tell you to do here.
Okay, which carries us on to part 2. This will clear the debt on the main ghost position and also convert the Bow leverage LPs into protocol-owned liquidity. Eric, what does that mean?
Oh man, I struggle with all their different apps and whatnot, but basically it takes the bad debt that they buy, and instead of going back to the team or whatnot, it stays with the protocol. And they're making word salad to try to pretend that it's not bad debt.
And I couldn't agree more. Number 3, the most significant element of this is that bidding can be done in USDC or XUSDC for sale 1 and USK or XUSK for sale 2. This will give all community members with funds locked in the Ghost Lend vaults the opportunity to participate if they wish to use their X assets. Now, I'll give you that, Eric. I'm a little fuzzy on this because it seems like you're using a credit card to pay off another credit card in this case. If you are literally bidding on this with synthetic assets or derivative assets, derivative USDC that is already not backed by anything, how the hell can you use that to bid on Pilot? What the hell is that?
I don't fully know. Maybe the backing for USK, which is in other assets, like not non-Kujira assets, maybe that will come into play or something. I don't fully know. I honestly, I didn't look that much into all of what's going on with Kujira because it doesn't matter. Like I know how the system's designed. I know how it fails. It doesn't matter like, oh, well, we've got this nuance. Oh, well, we've got this loan to value ratio. It doesn't matter because it's loan to value and you don't understand loan to liquidity. I told people I'll make a video on it next week, but like what's going on is like Elon Musk has $300 billion worth of Tesla stock and people want to tax him $100 billion. Well, when he sells $10 billion worth of Tesla stock, he gets $8 billion. Or like say he has to sell $100 billion worth of Tesla stock to get $20 billion. And now, his net worth is $101 billion. And so it's like, oh, well, he still owes another $80 billion in this tax plan. But you can see, well, I can't actually get $80 billion. If I keep selling, I'm going to get another, 10, $20 billion. And that's plenty, but it's not as much as I owe. Well, it's not bad debt yet, but it's obvious that it's about to be. So realistically, like, if you actually understand what collateral is, it's always been bad debt. How you guys determine bad debt, it's potential bad debt. If something's truly over collateralized, then there isn't potential for bad debt, period, end of story. And the fact that they can just unilaterally like halt liquidations to stop the price from going down, like it would have sent Kujira to zero if it worked properly, and it didn't.
Yes.
And the only reason people think that there can be a buyout and that this can take place is because it didn't work as well as it allegedly was supposed to.
Well, it gets a little better here, dude. It gets better with this one. I think you'll like this one even better, man. This is my favorite part. This is number 4. Through Pilot, you'll bid for our KUJI, which is dubbed Recovery KUJI, which will be redeemable 1-for-1 for Kujira once the required balance has been freed from collateral and undelegated. So what you're going to do is you're going to give them more money. You're going to give them USDC. You're going to give them back even more money, and they're going to repay you in our KUJI. This is Recovery KUJI. So it's almost just like KUJI with the exception that it's locked and it will vest and everything else that's going to go on with this mystery token with the details that we still don't have. But you're already looking at something that had a cascade failure, a vicious failure. And had they just done nothing and let it go, that token would be sitting at pennies right now. If that, it would be absolutely gone. So what they're going to do is you're going to give them more money and they're going to give you our KUJI. They're going to take that USDC that you're giving them and they're going to pay off the people who are actually already on there. So you're effectively going to have to give them cash to clear the debt position so that you can pull out the cash that you already had, and it's going to become our KUJI. So you effectively have no point. You have no choice but to bid on this if you want to get your own money back. This is fucking-bolical is what that is. That is next level. That's the same as going and changing 300% to 15% to the point now where you have a gun, a metaphorical gun pointed at their capital and saying, all right, now you got to give us money or so that we can put more bullets in here. That's what you're going to have to do. You're going to have to give them cash to try to get your cash back. And when you get that cash, you're not getting back that. You're getting our KUJI. You were getting a derivative KUJI, a recovery. I think somebody called it retarded KUJI. I think our KUJI. I think that's better. Where am I off base here, Eric?
You're not.
And please tell me I am.
Not only
dude.
that, but
please,
like there are even further risks that you haven't gotten into.
What
like,
have I missed?
Microman saying it sounds like extortion. It's like, yeah, it's like you pay somebody a bounty to do something for you, and then they're, oh well, I'm almost done. I need a little bit more now. It's like, well, that wasn't the terms of the agreement. It's like, well, I'm not going to give it to you unless you do
the terms. The terms just changed, babe.
And yeah, it's scary. And what happens if they don't get enough? What happens if they need $3 million and they get 1.5? I'm sitting there with KUJI, but that's still not enough to process liquidations. Like that, so then that KUJI never like gets liquidated. Like what happens
never
if they
fully
raise
vest.
some but not enough? Like get involved with Kujira at your own risk. I've been very public. I've taken a lot of heat for being public. That it's never been safe. I've told people it's never been safe, and they've told me I have no idea what I'm doing with tokenomics. I think that my business and my master's lectures lecturing suggests otherwise. But hey, you do you. But oh man,
why do I
really
feel like
frustrating.
we need? Why do I feel like the theme song for KUJI needs to be the Vince McMahon theme song all of a sudden? I mean, why do I?
Oh, I could play that right now.
If you are going to bid in liquidations, don't be one of the first ones to bid. Make sure you at least know that they're going to get the full amount. And full transparency, because I know AA DAO, and you and I had been publicly talking about this, AA DAO said, oh yeah, we're going to work something out, which got people to then buy KUJI. And so now if it does fail, now it looks bad on AA DAO because you can't be manipulating the market like that. What if I personally bought just because of that tweet?
Oh, yeah, dude. And it got, look, and you can see exactly when all that was happening here. I'm showing the 7-day chart of KUJI. So right here was this is just the catastrophic cascading failure right here. It was right in this time, and you can even time and date stamp it. When Carter started going on Twitter and started talking about, yeah, we're talking to him, AA DAO, we're probably going to come in and we're going to get something worked out. And immediately that price went from, over a couple of hours, went from 32 cents all the way up to 46 cents. And then today, this moment right here is when that thing was released that I'm reading to you right now. So it turns out, to take that from 44 cents all the way down to 34 cents, which is a pretty substantial drop, that there's some actual people out here that can read and that can figure things out and that can sort it and say, wow, no, this is not it. Now, I have a separate opinion on that, but I want to get through all of this. Number 5, Eric, the specific terms, cliff, vesting, base price, and max discount are all being worked out, and we'll be back soon with more details around this as well as timings. I love it when you say soon. That's just me, man. That makes me go a big rubbery one. When you are, again, holding a gun, metaphorical gun to people's capital and saying, yeah, don't worry. Adults are talking, kid. We'll get back to you. We'll get back to you real soon. I love that. Now, to say that these terms are going to be onerous, I think would be a really, really big undersell at this time. I think that these terms are going to be absolutely vicious. And it's kind of funny, too, man, because they're out there with hat in hand saying, hey, man, look, you've got to pay off our bad debt. That's the funny thing, is that no one will just come out and say that. We need you, the community, the DAOs, everybody, to come in and pay off our bad debt.
So I think that they worked out a deal with AA DAO.
I'm certain that they did, man. I'm sure the handshakes already happened. Everything's good. I don't even think they would have proposed it unless they knew it was going to fill.
Well, we've seen already like leaked messages from the backroom chats and people saying like, hey, like we need this to not be called a bailout. We need this to not be viewed as a bailout. So what it is a full-on bailout. But then they're going to tell the public, oh, well, you get access to this deal too. And the AA DAO is going to try to use other wallets, and they're going to perform the bailout through this public platform. Be like, oh, look, the community rallied together when 1.8 million of it comes from these other entities, and they don't get the public deal. They also get kickbacks on the back end for what the private deal was. So when they come out about like, oh, the terms will be coming up shortly, I want to know what the public terms are. I also want to know what the private terms are. And I want to know what strategic partnerships you guys have set up and what this looks like. And what I really want to know is if anybody who's making these deals on behalf of foundations and funds that they don't directly represent also get advisory tokens on the side. Because I've seen several deals being worked out like that. And I've been trying to keep quiet about it. But I've been talking to groups that are doing this like, hey, that's not cool. Like if you're using, the community pool funding to fund something on behalf of the community pool, and you get part of that, but you'll only do that deal conditionally if you get personal advisory tokens.
Exactly right. There it
sketchy.
is, man. Yeah, that's called a kickback, dude. This is not new. It's been happening all over crypto or all over finance for as long as there's been finance, and it just makes sense that we would do the same. That crypto would do the same. We want to be like TradFi. Obviously, we want to centralize everything we can. I actually thought that was funny. It's a whole sidebar conversation, but one of the big things about Cosmos has always been, that it's diversified. There is no real central controlling authority aside from the DAO. And as soon as they started talking about the DAO coming in and bailing out KUJI and taking an ownership stake, suddenly the narrative changed. Well, we are too decentralized. I think we need a little bit of centralization. This happened, dude. I'm not making it up. All right, it's out there on Twitter. Read the comments. Take a look, because suddenly now a little bit of centralization is okay. That's like getting just a little bit pregnant. It's just a little bit pregnant. You're not really pregnant. Well, I'm just a little bit pregnant. So it's not the same as being pregnant, because it's in the wording. I also think it's funny that I put out that tweet about 2 days ago. I said it will be a bailout. They will do everything in their power to make sure that those words are not used. This is politics at this point, guys, and I swim in these waters, all right? I am filthy dirty in these waters. I already know what they're going to do. You know what? They should have paid me. You could have paid me, and I would have told you how to frame it. This is what will be believable. This is what will be plausible. And this is your vagueness necessary to actually get this in without people calling you on your bullshit. But I'm not going to give that away for free, dude. If it's worth doing, it's worth having. All right, let's carry on. 6. Obviously, there will be major structural changes in KUJI moving forward. These will require further discussions and votes, etc. But the Treasury will be handled by a trusted committee to be determined and outside of the founding team. Guess what that team's going to be, Eric? If you had to put it up, guess who that team is going to be?
AA DAO.
Absolutely, it'll be the AA DAO.
No, KUJI's going to be a sub-project of Shade after this. Yeah. When I hear structural changes, what I hear from that is like Dove and the founding team is gone, and they're going to replace them with other prominent community members. And what structural changes I don't read is the structure of how KUJI works, because that's where my complaints have always been. People are saying like, oh, this happened because the team had bad treasury management. Okay, but your systems are designed so that anybody having bad treasury management could break the system. If you design a system well, it doesn't break, no matter what, no matter who does. I cannot mess with AXV to a point where I break it just because there's a lot of AXV. The system does not break. That if it's not safe from the core team, if it's not safe from any whale, if it's not safe from anyone at all. I mean, this isn't even the first time they've accumulated bad debt. Look what just happened with Whale. Why were you allowing Whale to be a collateral token? I mean, Whale had even team rugged before this.
And the funny thing, it wasn't that long before. All right, that's a funny thing, man. It's like Whale just happened. It just happened. If you guys genuinely sit there and think, and you guys, I mean, like, I know there's probably not a whole bunch of KUJI people here in the chat, but like, I've been dealing with them on Twitter the whole week, and they've been calling me a lot of names, and I get it. I'm saying mean things while they're hurting, but I said a lot of mean things while they were laughing in my face too. I'm not changing what I'm saying. I'm trying to teach. But if you think that a $3 million bailout will restore $150 million FDV, but if you don't get that $3 million bailout, it's going to go to zero, you really need to think about what that $150 million FDV was, because I'm telling you, it's a bubble. It was a goddamn myth, dude. They created it themselves.
Oh, well,
all the buy pressure, all that other shit.
Last $40 million of valuation to leave when it just cost $3 million to save it.
Just say, dude.
Okay,
what?
For all of these people who are sitting there and saying, "Oh, well, Eric's being mean, or Scott's being mean, or even Catwad's being mean,"
he got beat up too. Yeah.
I have a suggestion for all of you people. Take a time out, go to Sam's Club or Costco, and go buy the biggest pack of Kleenex you can find, because I guarantee you it's going to be worth a lot more.
The Kleenex, yeah, as this shit carries on. So, let me get back to it here real quick. And let me see, where were we? And we likely use DAO tooling for multi-sig wallets and other useful features. We understand the frustration at the team, and we will do whatever is required. Number 7. Immediate solutions to ensure this never happens again would involve max borrowing against KUJI will be significantly reduced. All treasury decisions being made openly and publicly by a risk committee, not including the founding team.
Reduced but not zero.
Not reduced but not zero. It'll never be zero. Come on. Look, dude. You know goddamn good and well that this is a shady bullshit smoke fucking room deal that they're going to make out there with the Dow. They're saying, yeah, we're stepping back. You'll never see us again. And you know it's bullshit. If you don't know it's bullshit, you absolutely should know that it's bullshit. Everything that's coming up here is going to be dirty, absolutely raw dog dirty. And this team is not going to simply walk away from this unless they get very, very specific guarantees. So they may not be the public face of any of this shit. It'll probably be the AA DAO or whatever they happen to set up over there, saying that, yeah, we're not the AA DAO. We don't represent them in any way, shape, or form. But they loaned us money to do all of this, so we're their figurehead over here. But you know goddamn good and well they're not getting away. They're making a lot of points in all of these to say the founding team will never, ever touch the money again. That's bullshit. 100% bullshit. All they will do is mask and change and restructure and do all that. But they are the fuckers that are calling the shots. They will still be the fuckers that are calling the shots. AA DAO and all those guys are happy as long as they get their little advisory tokens. And then they can come back and say, yeah, but look at this, man. We're earning income for Adam. That's what we're doing because the real yield model is the way to go. You know I'm 1,000% right on this.
What's scarier to me is if what they say about them like not touching this and having managerial perspective over this anymore, if that's true, then they just made bank and they have no reason to not have this be even further exit liquidity on the way out. So like that, like they're asking, like they took a whole bunch of KUJI that they printed out of nowhere, like, oh, it's max printed, or like, okay, they printed it out of nowhere. They had a whole bunch of it. They sold it on your face right now. They took out fat loans about it, kept the bubble, cashed out, maybe bought a house. Who knows? Now they're asking you to pay off their loans and they don't have to work anymore. I mean, people talk about like Tor, he like exited with $2 million worth of secret. I think the dude probably deserved it. The way he went about it was sketch, but whatever. Yeah, and he pissed off a whole bunch of people. Like this is honestly probably more sketch of a way to do that. And I put on Twitter, I'm like, will somebody please give me a $1 million loan? I'll back it with AXV, and then maybe I'll pay it off later, you know? Maybe. Or maybe AXV will never go down anymore, and we don't have to worry about it because I'm good for it. But in the meantime, I'm gonna buy a house and go on a couple vacations, but just don't worry about that. Like, will somebody please give me that loan? And if not, then ask why the fuck we're doing a bailout.
Eric, I could give you that loan. I'm not going to. You got to be real specific.
Oh, Scott, it's if I'm not good for it, the AA DAO is.
You know what? No, I need to know very, very specific things. How will I be repaid? That's it. We'll start right there.
USK or, hear me out, XUSK.
Oh my God. Can you give me, can you come up with an XAXV? Can you give me that? It's just like AXV, but it's longer, so it's better.
I think you mean D-Shade. No, we don't need a second derivative for a DEX token.
You should definitely have, because KUJI's having one. Have you heard of our KUJI? Dude, you need to get in on this pilot sale. All right, our KUJI, it's going to be, you know what, when they're $500 billion, you're going to wish you could have bought our KUJI at 8 cents. You're going to wish you had. So you really need to get into this. Wait for the message. I'm 1,000% right. All right, guys, we're going to be right back. We got to take a break. I've never heard this song. Eric, you've never heard this song. I guarantee it. And I know that you operated in this, swam in these waters as well. And Belle, I know you've never heard this song. So, but it did come in by request. And who actually put this in, Belle? I just took a look and saw the song, so pulled it up. But it's for Snooky Tate. Who requested that? That sounds like a Microman thing. Belle.
That's not a Microman thing. That was Deep House Nation, actually.
Deep House Nation. All right. So, all right. Going out for Deep House Nation, guys, I've never heard the song. I hope that you enjoy it. We will do anything for $1. Absolutely anything. So here you go.
And they're coming in closer to $2.
Okay, well, we'll do anything for $1.99. In fact, we'll do twice as much for $1.99. So stand by, guys. We got a long way to go on this conversation. Snooky Tate, he's the groove from 1979. Take it away, boys.
How you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats, kids, welcome back to the podcast. Thank you. I cut that one off a little bit early. I will refund you 50 cents. It kind of kept going like that for another couple of minutes, and we do got a lot that we would like to talk about. Great song. I did not dislike it. I'm not going to say that it's going to go right at the top of my iPod playlist. I still have an iPod, Bell. Did you know that? Did you know I had an iPod?
I did not know that
It
you
still
have
works.
an iPod.
It still works. All right. It holds like 32 songs, and it's simply awesome. I don't give up on tech just because there's better tech. Some things simply work, and they continue to work, and my iPod absolutely does. All right, Belle, we've been remiss on asking questions, comments, or concerns. Why don't you go ahead and serve those up for you? We do got the neck here, guys, so get them in.
All right. So G Torres, before the neck was available and hopped on. Damn, KUJI made a worse move than Juno. At least with Juno, people decided to freeze funds, not the devs themselves.
And, you know, I'll give you a break on that one, man. Prop 16 was not a good look. We all remember it. It's years ago. We're still talking about it. But at least people voted. They at least did that. KUJI didn't exactly do that. They just went through and said, no, we got to. It's in everybody's best interest. And if we let people vote, they're going to say no because they'd rather collect the 300% APR as opposed to the 15% APR that we're going to saddle them with. So, no, we can't vote because if we put it up for vote, everybody would say no. So we can't do that. We have to do it a different way. Eric, where am I off on this, dude? I'm not. But go ahead.
No, you're good.
You're good. You suck, dude. You're not. You're just going to leave me out here, man, alone in the trenches taking grenades, man. That's okay. It's podcast, dude. I live here doing that. Belle, carry on, please.
All right. So next one coming in from Nuclear Chicken. Hello, all. I'm listening behind on 2X, but driving, so won't be commenting much. What is Scott drinking tonight? Does he pair whiskey with a fine cigar?
No. Scott used to be a very, very heavy smoker, and And I also like the occasional cigar, but I find that smoking cigars, even though I don't inhale them, I just, I smoke a cigar. I enjoy the taste. But Adam AXV pool, farm, not even a pool, a farm. And every bit of AXV that you put in there, you're going to collect 22.5% that is going to be paid in Atom. Now, the joy about that is that we can dump the Atom. We can do that all day, and it's not going to hurt the AXV token, not one little bit, because you're not paying it in AXV, you're paying it in Atom. There comes a time when you simply have to have a narrative, and I think that that's a very, very constructive one. For a month, you're not going to lose that much, even though I think I'm the bulk of it. I am pretty much the bulk of it. I'll tell you what. I won't even, I'll tell you what, I'll do it here. I'm live. I'm the bulk of that pool. Most of that money in there is mine because I know a good deal when I see one. I will literally return the Atom to you. Every single Atom that you pay me in that pool, I will turn right back over. You can put it into protocol and liquidity. You can do anything that you want. I will waive all the money that you're paying me on that pool, and I will put it back in your hands if you will crank that up to 22.5% just so I can make videos on it. Does that sound like a pretty fair deal? Because you're actually going to make money on this deal. I'm the only one who's going to lose on it.
That sounds like a great deal. I'll take
Okay.
it. I'll take it to the team in the community, but I mean, yeah, it's hard to say no to.
Okay. I will. Yep. And I will waive all of my, I don't even know how much I have in there. Let me see. I have $80,301 in that pool. I want to make sure everybody sees it. It ain't worth shit anymore. It's Atom. So I don't really particularly care. But whatever I'm getting on that pool, and I am 80% of that pool, I will return it to you. I will give me a wallet address. I will send it over. We can do it daily, hourly, weekly, monthly, whatever you want to do. And you're going to be paying off everybody else but me. I don't know how I can make a better deal than that, dude, but that gives me a chance to make really nifty videos. It gives me a chance to maybe show that there might be a better way than, borrowing, minting, loaning, all this other shit and being exposed to brutal rugs if people just look at reasonable products. I think it's worth it. I think it's in my interest. Take it to the team. You have my, make the deal right now. All right. That is my full prop. I am the only one who's going to lose on this. I'm willing to do it because I believe in you guys' product.
Cool. Well, yeah, we'll start discussing that tonight. Absolutely.
Beautiful. Belle, carry on.
Deep House Nation, besides the Twitter bots, it's a lot of clowns still catching this falling knife. Never underestimate the power of stupid people in large groups.
Oh, yeah. That George Carlin. I think George Carlin's. George. I love George. The funny thing is that the people who are out here, and this personal opinion, man, we're op-ed, I'm allowed to have one. The funny part is that the people who are out here thinking that they're getting a good deal are just doubling down to get screwed again. And it is amazing to me. It's almost Stockholm syndrome at this point. I get it. You're down, man. Look, people get beat up out here. This is crypto. It happens every day. But they don't go running right back to the team that destroyed them. Now, you're going to see this in another place. There's another product that's going to be launching out over here very, very shortly called Ellis. Who's familiar with Ellis? Belle, are you familiar with Ellis?
Yes, and I'm going
You
to
ain't got to
keep
give me
my
the look.
mouth shut.
You ain't got to give me the look. Eric, do you know who Ellis is? Are you familiar with them? You were on some spaces with them, weren't you?
I'm familiar with Ellis.
Yeah. So Ellis is comprised by the team that brought you SIFChain. They are comprised of the team that brought you SIFChain. All the same people, all the same players. And
Such
yeah.
foul language coming out. I mean, seriously.
Bite your tongue. Look, I'm in the trench, all right? Let me be the bad guy here. It's cool. I'm used to it.
To see a tokenomics, the more detailed the better, masterclass series taught by him. It should be a much watch before investing requirement. But no, don't distract him from getting us in more chains.
What do you think there, Eric?
Thank you, man. I'm signed up to co-author probably the first actual textbook on tokenomics. Yeah, barring having time. Academia is fun. It doesn't pay very well because, those who can't teach. And so it's humbling. It's fun. I enjoy doing master's lectures. I've been offered to get like a full-time residency as a professor. I don't want to. The pay is dirt. It would just be like to say I did type thing. I'd rather actually build the cool stuff. What I will do is on the Dopenomics channel. Dopenomics is the name of my tokenomics consulting firm. Hired out some more people so I can focus on Astrovault, but still take on clients that pay the bills because Lord knows we're not really funded for Astrovault. So on the Dopenomics side, I'm going to make some more videos. I announced a day or two ago that I'll make one on LTV versus LTL, which is explaining like how all of this, over collateralized lending works if you consider what potential bad debt is instead of just the valuation of the Tesla stock, because not everything's Tesla stock. Some things are meme coins. And if you start using that to collateralize shit, it doesn't work very well. So I'm going to break all that down, and I'll come out with more and more videos just based on what frustrates me. If you'll notice on our white papers, we had written various versions of the white paper, and people didn't understand why Stride didn't work and why auto-compounding derivatives didn't work. So we rewrote the white paper and we added section 6 where I just went through all the math of here's why it doesn't fucking make sense. And everyone just and ignored it. It's I open sourced that math. That was I think November 2022 or something. Like we came out with that paper, and that was in response to people just not getting it. So people aren't getting what's wrong with KUJI. I mean, these people aren't getting it again. And I rolled out some threads I had made like December 2022. Like I've been talking about this since before the Terra collapse. It's not changing. People are just so damn stubborn. Like people are already shaping the narrative. Like, there's nothing wrong with Kujira. It was just bad treasury management. Like, no, there are things wrong with Kujira. This doesn't work. And it's like, now it's Ghost that's not safe, but USK is safe. No, you don't get it. Like, yes, DAI can run short on collateral, and everyone copying DAI's model, like they're doing it in a worse way than DAI, because at least DAI has really liquid collateral. But you start making collateral with, Atom. That's not good enough. IST is not good enough. None of these stable coins are good. And if they were, you wouldn't want them.
Yeah, you know what the funny thing, dude, and this is I'm going full screen, Eric. You're completely removed from this. They have to save USK. They have to do whatever they can to save USK, and it's not going to be saved. All right, you're just putting your finger in the dike as two more shoot out the other sides of it. We've all seen cartoons. We know that how this works. But it's in everybody's interest to make sure that USK continues to be successful, because Silk is next. Silk is next. And with all of the news that was going on right now, and the fact that it's all KUJI, nobody noticed that Silk depegged. They didn't notice or didn't care, or it really doesn't matter, because Silk is very, very hard to understand anyway. I'm not a big fan of stable curious stables, and that's what they are. That's USK, that's SIC, that's IST, all this. They're stable curious. They're not actually stable. But in today's society, as long as you identify as stable, you're stable. So that's apparently what?
It's 7% depegged right now. the basket that it's allegedly pegged to is going up while the actual collateral is going down. It's really close to having some liquidations in secret. Like the secret LTV was like 95% and secret keeps
Right.
sinking.
It's
like
right there,
any
dude.
any issues you had with Kujira are honestly worse there. Like USK is better than Silk is because Silk also has this additional collateral risk in that what you are pretending the peg is not what the actual collateral is. So yeah, I mean, be careful. It's a 7% DPEG right now. If you believe it's going to come back, then great, buy in. The issue is you're waiting, it gets back up to 3% down. Like you're going to want to exit. And how do you do that? So if you have loans out for Silk, what they're asking for right now, or at least by the model suggests they're asking for right now, is for the supply of Silk to decrease. Buy it back up, pay off your loans at a discount, and then get the supply down from whatever is like 2 million down to 1 million. And then hopefully that's enough scalability for this to work in mom and pop shops to consider this a hedge against inflation.
It's no, man, I ain't gonna touch that shit. Not a nickel, not even a nickel. I held it briefly. I did not like the look of it, and once I started actually digging in, I was like, shit, man, this thing is a time bomb. It is, man. It's like all these LSD. Well, 60% of that goddamn DEX is secured by LSDs. How can you have liquid staking derivatives that are already 100%, and they will remain decoupled from the actual peg of the price because they have to? But how can you have LSDs which have this incredible variance shoring up your stable curious token? How is that even mathematically fucking possible? And what happens when you pull out one of the legs on that Jenga tower? It doesn't take much. And I even had Carter on this show 18 months ago, and I even told him way back then, I said, I am incredibly concerned because 60% of your DEX is LSDs. Do you have concern about that? And he did admit it. He said, yeah, we need to kind of go a different way. But to this day, it's still 60% LSDs. And if Stride was to go, if Stride was to kind of buckle under, like the AA DAO will never allow that to happen because that blows up everything, dude. That just torches everything. Yeah, if there was something that should funky be happening with Stride, that's it, man. All of these things are just gone, baby, gone. The only things that are going to be left are like the people who simply have no exposure to any of this. Those are the only things that are going to make it out. Eric, how many LSDs do you have over there on Astrovault? What's your exposure to them?
A shit ton. They're our own.
They're your own. Okay,
Yeah.
but no, I'm talking about outside of your ecosystem. Outside of
our ecosystem, we have Stake Osmo, and I think that's it. And we don't make those core to any versions of routing. When I was brought on this call, I was having dinner with the family. Bella reached out.
Sorry, man.
No, I screw them kids, you know.
Yeah,
trying to go
you
JD
can have
dance
more.
with it.
You can
Shut
have
the
more
hell up.
kids,
I'm talking
dude.
to Scott. No, they there were questions about admin contracts, and that's what comes into my mind when you want to talk about LSDs. So do you guys want to get into that conversation at all?
Not so much right now, but we'll I'm sure we're going to tail back around to that. We got some other questions. And dude, you believe it or not, man, I brought you on here to talk about Archway.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't even bring you on here to talk about KUJI, dude. I'll take the grenades for that. Fuck those people, man. You think they're going to suddenly love me if I come up and say, I took another look at it, and KUJI is a really, really good idea. It's a good plan. I could never sell my soul like that. Not a chance would I do that, man. But look at all the likes and follows you get. Fuck that, man. Yeah. I don't need their money. I got money. But
other than the admin contract issues, where I talk about the eventual end game, which is Mexican standoffs with liquid staking derivatives. Other than that, the only real risk, in my opinion, of Shade having so much LSD exposure is oracles when they come out with their money market. As far as the swap DEX goes, it doesn't really make a difference. But when they start, you can collateralize with LST to take out a loan, and then somebody sells a bunch of ST Atom and ST Atom goes 6% under peg and nothing happens to Atom, then you're going to get liquidated because you collateralize with ST Atom, whereas you would have been fine if you collateralized with Atom. And what's cool about our X derivatives is we can duplicate the oracles so that by not having compounding derivatives, you can use the underlying oracle for the native asset. And even if there's like an unbalance, the price is still the same. So you won't have this disparity in like random liquidations because using a liquid staking derivative. So they're not yet to the point where that's a huge risk, in my opinion, because at least with the staking derivative, until there's the admin Mexican standoff, at least you can redeem it for the underlying collateral. You just have to wait so much time. But it is a concern as they build out the more advanced protocols.
Yeah, and you see what you just said right there for the last 45 seconds. I was timing. I was looking at my I don't wear a watch. I don't know how long that was. Where the whole masterclass that people are asking for, that's the shit for that. Because this is not that. You lost me, dude. You started 15 seconds in. I was like, fuck, he lost me. I'm not going to be able to catch back up. Let's just smile and pretend I understand what he's saying. Yeah, dude, this is where you lose people at your lectures too, man, right at that moment. Because you start, it's your core, dude. It's your passion, dude. This is what you love. And I get it. I talk about armor, and I lose people the same way as soon as I start talking about rivet placement and shit like that. No, this is critical. No, shut up. You need to listen to this. This is what matters. Not all the rest of the shit or how it looks or how it fits or anything. This is what really, really matters. As soon as I start saying that, people just walk away. I follow them. I'm like, no, hey, you come back. You're going to listen to me. That's what we get right there from here. Okay, Belle, one more. Then we got to place.
You have literally chased away a lot of interns doing that. Only one has stuck. Well, no, only two have stuck around as far as I know, and one works his tail off all the time. So
I've been doing what I've been doing armor-wise for 30 years. All right. I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm talking about. And as soon as I get somebody who's been in here in the shop for a week and a half telling me, wouldn't this be a better way? It's like, oh, you know what? Sure. Build it. Let's see if it's a better way. Then we're going to fire a cannon at it, and we're going to see if it holds up. If it does, you're right. It is a better way. I'm telling you right now that it won't. Now, I believe it or not, that's actually.
And ran over it with your truck.
I did. I shot it, shooting arrows at it from 5 feet away. All that shit. But no, I mean that's the passion I have for that, and I understand that Eric has the same kind of passion for when he starts getting into derivatives and all that other good stuff. But it's funny because it's actually an apt metaphor. We don't really know if Shade is going to work 100% until we fire a cannon at it. Now, we fired a cannon at Kujira. It didn't. It did not hold up. They found there's a way to do it, and then there's the better way to do it, grown-up DeFi. And they built it, and we fired a cannon at it, and guess what? Fucking blew apart. All the way apart. There are very specific things that need to happen. This rivet needs to be there. Eric is the guy who says, nope, this is what has to happen or it's going to blow apart. And he got laughed at. He got dismissed. You don't know. You're just... And then we fired the cannon at it and it fucking blew apart. It's just funny how that works. I'm sorry. That was kind of a tangent, Bell. One more because we got Joy Division queued up. So go.
All right, Microman, how smoky do you like your whiskey? We have one over here called Smokehead. It's like drinking alcoholic liquid smoke.
I tend to like the oaky taste. I like the smoky and oaky. I very much enjoy it. It adds a different flavor profile to it. When you take really unaged bourbon, stuff, it's just bottled. Yeah, it bottled 4 months ago. It's great. When you start hitting that stuff, man, it's almost chemical. There's that chemically type thing there. I like a mature bourbon. I like a mature aged smoky bourbon, but that's a personal preference. I mean, if you're a college boy, don't buy the shit I buy, man. Your buzz it'll be better, but it's not going to be different. Stick with Jack Daniels. Stick with your rock gut shit. But yeah, for an aged executive alcoholic like myself, yeah, man, I like the flavor profiles, and I do like them very, very smoky and oaky. So hope that answered the question. Anyway. We got to get back here because we got more to get to. Eric, you can bail anytime you want. I wish you wouldn't, man, because we're about to start talking about.
He's avoiding his children. I mean,
we're about to start talking about Archway because I want to start. We know what's going on with KUJI, man, but it's time to say how can we make a difference? What can we do to enact change? And they don't watch a show. Well, I think their lawyers do, but none of them do. So let's talk about Archway and what we can actually do to maybe start to turn this around. I have some ideas. I even have product offerings. I have all of those things. So let's get into those. We'll talk about what happened, and we'll talk about how we get them out of it. I think it's important. But before that, we have this song is in by request. It's Joy Division, Love Will Tear Us Apart. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and kittens, welcome back to the podcast. How do we all like the Joy Division? I'm kind of on the fence about that. It was their official music video. It sounded a little bit tinny to me, but it's kind of got this beta band feel to it. And I'm not, anytime I start going into that alternative and you're like talking about XTC and beta band and stuff like that, man. Everybody kind of tunes out, so I get it. But feedback, do you guys like that? Should we put this in the regular rotation? Again, we'll do anything for $1, so that happens to be one of them. All right, Belle, let's finish out the existing questions. Let's get into the good stuff. I'm ready for the good stuff now. I'm tired of bitching. I'm ready to talk positively about stuff. Belle, go ahead and clear them out.
Nuclear chicken. Hey, Eric, do you have the time to explain the difference between standard and hybrid pools on Astrovault? And if the risks are higher on hybrid pools, why?
Yeah, I'll try to make it brief because I could talk about this for a long time. Standard is the like super generic Uniswap V1 constant product market maker. The price can go to infinity. The price can go to zero. There will be that level of volatility. Time flux. So hybrid pools, we wrote a paper on it. They're called time flux pools. If you want to Google that, it's a fancy name we put on it because it uses Oracle pricing and does not whatever direction you trade is not going to affect the price. Which is super sketch and scary. So you want to talk about different risks? There are a ton of different risks. I actually had to acquiesce to publish the paper on time flux that we did because I really want to roll out like an 80 to 90 page paper on showcasing how we stop different attacks and what maximum loss can be. But yes, whereas with the regular pool, you can have impermanent loss. With any type of concentrated liquidity, you can have bidirectional impermanent loss, or as I call it, permanent loss. So it's notably riskier to LP in those pools. But there are a shit ton of fail safes that all have triggered. So while CoinGecko will mess up things with like Comdex and Shade and whatnot, when things happen, we just deactivate the pools. All LPs are safe and made whole. And those pools are super profitable for us, and you could get higher APR. So we mitigate the risks as much as we can. We've done a shit ton of battle testing behind the scenes to make sure they're not exploitable. So we have the threshold set up so that if somebody was trying to attack the pool, Astrovault would make money, LPs would lose a little bit, but the attacker would also lose too, which is very, very important. So it's not super directly attackable, and we've now on mainnet seen that like not work. But in general, yes, it's riskier. It doesn't work the same. You got to read the paper. It's like an order book with a 0% margin that follows the actual prices of the assets.
You know, I happen to love your concentrated liquidity pools. I love your Bitcoin pool. I just made a massive purchase out of your Bitcoin pool, a big percentage of that. But I think Bitcoin's going to come back. It's not going to sit there at 60. I understand the world's shitting its pants right now, man. That's fine. You see me? Am I sweating? Am I worried about it? And I got a fuck ton more skin in this game than most people. No, I think it's going to be fine, man. This is knee jerk. We've seen this over and over and over. I know people are talking recession and oh my God, the world is ending. Bitcoin's still sitting at 60. You what the fuck's the matter with you people? All right, look, man, we are still, oh my God, it's bearish. It ain't bearish, man. Bitcoin's still at 60. And I waited for that very moment to make a great big ass purchase of it, which I have sitting liquid over on your decks right now because I'm simply going to scalp it. I'm not going to push it back into the pool. I'm just going to scalp the shit out of it, man. Thank you for the money, Eric, by the way. I love taking your money. It's wonderful doing business with you. But I do it over there because it costs me effectively nothing for these big, massive 20, 50, 70, $80,000 Bitcoin buys. I give you like $100 and you give me like $80,000 worth of Bitcoin. Dude, that's cheaper than a fucking central exchange. It costs me nothing to do it over there. And when I go to liquidate it, it's just as profitable. So
it is. It's usually cheaper than a centralized exchange, and it scales really well. And we've already designed the V2 of them, so no one's even close to our V1 of these pools. And we've already designed a V2 that would, like, if we could scale this out properly, would literally steal like over 90% of all volume in Web3. So you guys know I'm close with like the swing team, and like we believe in liquidity hubs and aggregators. We already have proven to have the best liquidity hub model, but it gets so much better.
You know, I'm kind of curious, dude, because for like an $80,000 purchase of Bitcoin, it cost me less than $100. That is just ludicrous, man. That is just silly number right there, dude. Because if I was to do that same thing over here on Osmosis, let's pretend, man. Let me gin up a swap. So if I was to go USDC Noble to wrap Bitcoin, which is exactly what I did on your very little decks right there, and if I was to put in an $80,000 trade, It's going to cost me $1,600 to make that trade. I'm third screen right now, dude. It would cost me $1,600 to make that trade right over here on Osmosis, the decks, the one that show the one ring, the one decks right here. It's going to cost me $1,600 to make that trade. So before I show Astrovault, how much is it going to cost me to do that on Astrovault, dude?
Oh man. My guess, it depends on the pool balance. My guess is a couple $100.
All right, let's find out, man. Look, we like to do this live. We test in production. All right, so we're going to go third screen here. I haven't looked at it yet. You guys can see that the trade is queued up. $80,000 USDC for 1.3 Bitcoin, and it is going to cost me from $80,000. It's going to cost me a little over $500. So it would cost me 3 times that, a little over 3 times that to do that on Osmosis than to do it here. Now, a $500 trade fee on an $80,000 purchase in the DeFi makes me really question what you're doing over there, dude, because there is no fucking way, dude.
And that means you're actually unbalancing the pool quite a bit, because normally the fee would be lower, as you mentioned earlier. So
there's only like 640 in there, dude. If I buy over 10% of it, I would expect that pool to be pretty fucking unbalanced.
But what pisses me off is right now people are making these trades all the time, and they're using like Skip, they're using Kepler, they're using Leap. And those trades are taking place on Osmosis, and they're losing $1,000 every time they make that trade.
Every single fucking time,
because it's not routing through Astrovault.
Nah, dude. The only way I would touch, the only Bitcoin that I touch is over there on Astrovault, dude, because you pretty much give it away to me. $500 on an $80,000 trade, guys. Go anywhere else and try it. You just saw it for yourself. So even though I know it works, I see the number, I still question it, because I'm like, there's no fucking way that this can be like that, dude. It's not like that anywhere else. Did you crack the code? I mean, have you really torn it apart? I'm even wearing a goddamn Astrovault shirt tonight, dude. I never wear an Astrovault shirt. But when you make a trade that big and you save me that much money, I'll put on the fucking t-shirt for the stream. I got no issue with that. Belle, please carry on.
All right. So Texas coming in with the last question for the moment. Well, Eric, now that AXV has a marketing DAO, maybe a tokenomics learning campaign managed by it would do. Of course, focusing on the AXV protocol benefits.
I mean, you're going to need me to break down the tokenomics for everything, and it's going to have to be my time. So I don't know. The marketing DAO can help share it, but yeah, I'm
so
really
you're saying,
busy, guys.
So you're saying you won't do it unless you get paid to do it.
Dude, I'm doing everything.
Just say it. Just say it. Say the words.
I'm saying I'm going to do it under the Dopenomics hood, so I can do more stuff than just Astrovault, and because I get paid there.
You guys suck, man. It's always about the money with you, dude. It always comes down to the money. You know how much time me and Belle give away on this show? We make dick. I mean, dick. We've made $4 tonight in super chats, dude, and that's actually a really good night for us. So we make shit. We give away our time. I'm just saying you can give away yours. Your daughters will be raised without you, dude. They don't really need to know you. All right? Look, man, I was a military guy, 26-year military guy. There were years and years my children never saw me. They turned out okay. I'm just saying, dude, you can put it, take it for the team, man. This is where, Belle, help me out here, because it seems like this is bullshit that I'm the only one sitting, again, leaving me alone on this fucking island in the trenches taking grenades. You got to do what you got to do, man, and you got to strike when the iron's hot, just like that atom pool. I want to see that fucking thing at 22.5%. I am paying you to do it. You are paying everybody with my money. I'm fine with it. I don't know how much more. I mean, how much more blood do you need from me here, babe? Belle, please carry on.
Well, again, that was the last question for the moment.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Then we're going to get into something a little bit different. Look, man, we bash Kujira to death. Whatever they think is going to happen, it's not going to happen. It might be a short-term fix, a short-term solution. But the only people who are going to get fucked in this are going to be retail. Anybody that continues along with this, man, look, I see no path. There's no real changes here. It was the fundamental flaw in the model that got you into this whole thing, that got you into this, and you're doubling down on stupid, because if it worked, you wouldn't be here. All right, I'm going Occam's razor on this. What made it fail? The thing that made it fail was that it could fail. That is Occam's razor in this case, and it did. When it was pushed, when it was stressed, when the cannon was fired at it, it blew apart. So that's it. I don't see them anywhere in all of these proposals or what they're going to fix saying that we're actually going to change the model because it was fucked from Jump Street. From get-go, from launch, it was screwed. They launched at a good time. They rode a high market. They leveraged. They did what FTX did. They did what Celsius did. They did what all of these fucking destroyed DEX central exchanges did. They did the same shit, and it blew up in their face. And you guys are lining up to apologize to them. Fucking shame on you. You deserve whatever's coming your way. You got a chance, get out, stay out, do whatever. I got no problem going on record. Will it pop? Probably, because now they have Papa money bags in their pocket that is going to make sure that nothing will cause this to fail. So from a pure crypto standpoint, mercenary capital standpoint, absolutely, you'll probably make some money. Is there a better way? Yeah, there is. And the fact that they have these admin keys and can do whatever the fuck that they want and have proven that they will do whatever the fuck they want and they don't care what you want should be all that you need to know. There are other good opportunities out there. Please, for the love of God, seek them out. But your money, you do you, babe. I will not touch this. Anyway. Let's talk about something that I will touch and that that I touch a lot. Sorry, I'll get goofy now. We're going to be talking a little bit here about Archway. Now, one of the greatest disappointments that I've had in crypto over this entire time is actually Archway. And the thing that disappoints me about it, not the whole app chain thing. Actually, I think it's fine. I think that they could do some good if they smartened up a little bit. The thing that disappoints me about this is the fact that they simply cannot look at what they've done and realize that they've made mistakes along the way because they never acknowledge any of those things. Even right now, the fact that Archway happens to have a whole lot of liquid cash standing by, they could absolutely step up right now and dominate this. They could put all of these other things to shame by simply building good products. Right now, any actual liquid USDC, liquid capital that you have right now is exponentially more valuable than any crypto token that you might have. Cash is absolutely king right now, particularly with Bitcoin just going absolutely batshit off the rails, sitting there at $60,000. It was $70,000 like a week and a half ago. Simply the fact that you still have cash tells me that you are ideally positioned to do something about this. Now, what I would love to hear from all of you guys, because we offered it up to Griffin and he told us no. We offered it up to the neck and he said yeah, but without having Griffin on the other side of that, it's kind of a one-sided conversation. So what I'd like to entertain and see if you guys have any particular ideas is what exactly could Archway do? I happen to believe in the model a little bit. I don't believe in the management, but I do believe in the model, and I think that they could do some incredibly good things. Now, they come up right now and say that they have absolutely nothing building. They really don't. They have nothing that's coming up. A few more tools, a chain upgrade, some shit like that, but really nothing aside from Astrovault that is actually earning them any kind of revenue whatsoever. So with that, I will offer them an ownership stake in Aegis. I'll do it right now. We will offer them an ownership Belle, don't even. She's talking right now. Don't do that. I will offer them an ownership stake in Aegis if they were to pony up some cash. Now, here's the interesting part about this. I don't need their money. I'm fine. All right? It's not that. It's a matter of I would be willing to fall on my sword and give them a piece of something that they had nothing to do with this whole time, simply so that they could say that we are building consumer apps. That's the big reason that I would do it, and that's the only reason that I would do it. We will pay you back out of revenue from said app. Not someday we're going to get a bunch of investors, turn it around, and then people are going to buy our token and we're going to pay you back like that. We will pay you back from revenue from the app because the app is going to be absolutely monetized. I know because the pay rail is going to be running through Astrovault. One of the most exciting things to me for Astrovault right now is payment processing. They have absolutely cracked the code on this. Because the one thing that Aegis can never, ever do, and we will never, ever do, is ask you who you are. We're not going to KYC you. It's very, very hard to build a Web2 app that has no KYC, and Astrovault actually figured out a very novel approach to that. Eric, could you take just a minute and explain your pay rail?
Yes. So in essence, we make a collateralized debt position based on our protocol and liquidity, yada yada, fancy things behind it. When you pay with a credit card, we front the payment to Jackal so that you can get your storage, and all you did was buy storage. You paid us the money.
Don't you mean you're going to front the money to Aegis? You're
Yes.
building us a goddamn pay rail.
Perfect.
We happen to be utilizing Jackal. They're going to get their
We will
bit.
front the money to Aegis, which fronts the
Thank
money to
you.
Jackal. So you get your storage. You pay with cash, with credit card, with debit card, with whatever you want. We front the money for your storage that works with crypto. And then after all the payments clear and whatnot, we get it on the back half. So we get a nice VIG for payment processing. It's a very lucrative business. We assume the risk for the couple days it takes for the payments to process. That said, Jackal gets definitively paid because they get crypto assets for it. So they're able to safely scale a decentralized business without a point of failure. You get the storage, which is what you wanted to buy. But since at no point do you ever hold crypto, you don't have to KYC because you're not buying an investment vehicle. You're buying Jackal storage. You're not reselling it. You're just buying storage. That should be as easy as buying storage on Google. We can make it that way.
Why do you keep saying Jackal? You understand that you're doing this for Aegis, right?
Yeah,
I'm doing the second
Aegis
time, third time in the same conversation. I'm starting to take this personal, bro. All right, because this is what we're talking about right here. Do you guys see my phone? I know you do. You see where it says Aegis? Do you see where it says upload file? And if you were to click that little button right there, and if you were to select a file out of anything that you happen to have over there, and I was to hit that little button right there and send that on its way, and if I was to say start upload a file, if I clicked it right, hang on, if I was to hit that button that said start upload a file, which my screen is screwed up right now. Give me just a second, guys. That's great, dude. My own app froze up, dude. This is great. I love alpha. Oh, my God. I had that so keyed up, dude. I was ready to go. Oh, there you go. Get Andrew on the fucking phone right now, Bell, and ask him what the fuck he just did. After you upload, oh, there it went. Of course, I closed the phone, so naturally it went. All right, so you send up the file, and that's it. That's the only thing that you have to know. You're using Jackal Protocol, but you're not even aware that you're using Jackal Protocol. Now, I'm not using my platform to pitch my own app, even though you're goddamn right I will. All right, this is what I'm here for. This is why we're continuing to do this, is to bring a pretty cool thing. But the thing I find interesting about this is that once we prove the concept of Astrovault's pay rail, that's Eric right over there. Once we prove the concept of this, because Eric, are you going to be able to provide us user data? Are you going to be able to give us their name, their location, their address, their emails? Are you going to be able to give us all of this information?
Nah, dude, that'd be illegal.
It would absolutely be illegal. And Aegis doesn't want to know who you are. You understand the ethos of Jackal, which we're using as our storage layer. We don't want to know who you are. They don't want to know who you are. And using this, you can pay with a credit card, and we will never fucking know you. This is bifurcated pay rail. That's what they should call it, Eric, is a bifurcated pay rail. I will never, ever know who you are. They get action on every single person that uses Aegis, and every single time that they use it, they are getting action. The DEX is great. Their model is great. The concentrated liquidity pools, all of these things are fantastic. But when we are bringing them 10,000 daily active users, that are all of these things are being funneled over there through Astrovault, and they get a healthy VIG on every single one of these things. Guys, that's revenue. That is pure revenue. That is an automated system that they just sit there and make it rain on them because we built a good app, because our app functions wonderfully. Not that second. That's funny, dude. That is funny that it bricked. I love alpha. Our app functions flawlessly until this very moment, and that they simply get paid for moving the money from point A to point B without ever letting you know who you are. That is a value proposition on this DEX that I'm not seeing on any other DEX out there. They have every single tool necessary to make this happen, meaning that they will take cash, they will convert it to tokens, they get paid to do that. They will put those tokens from them to us so that we can pay off the Jackal protocol. They get a little bit, they get a slight VIG on that, and everybody gets what they're looking for: a solid product, a reasonable price, an absolutely private, secure. World has never seen anything like this, and Astrovault just sits there and makes money on our effort. So yeah, I would be more than happy to push this up and let we're at a really, really tough point right now here, guys, because we have to scale already. We're in alpha. And we already have to scale. That means more servers. That means more bandwidth. That means more everything. I'm more than happy to take the cost on myself, but if Archway would like to step up, if they would like to offer a little bit of interesting kind of VC money, we'll pay them back out of the revenue. They make money when we make money. They make money when Astrovault makes money. They simply make money by doing absolutely nothing but providing a little bit of capital, and they get an awful lot of visibility over to their Archway ecosystem. I see no downside to this. I see no downside because I don't need them. But they got to put out something, dude. That's my whole thing. They have got to put out something noteworthy, and I'm saying that Aegis is. It might not be right now. Nobody's going to be too impressed, but when we start hitting all of our tech conferences, and the next thing you know, when we're up to 10,000 daily active users, VCs are coming to us at that point, dude. We're not going to them. They're coming to us because they're going to say, hey, we got to scale. We got to force marketing, get all this other shit up there. I think we got it, man. But the biggest shining star I have in this is the fact that we have Astrovault as a partner that is going to take care of the shit that we simply do not have the bandwidth to take care of. That's our money shot. You are literally our money shot. I think it would be in Archway's best interest to at least somewhat consider this before they invest another $300,000 in a fucking NFT platform. So I think there's there. We're proof of concept. We're going to get out. We're going to make it. And there's really nothing that's going to stop us. We're not a crypto app. We happen to just utilize blockchain. You got anything you want to add on that, Eric?
Love Aegis, dude. I love that you guys have actually built something that can go directly to end users. The closer we get to real apps that real users can use, and it just has more utility than things in Web 2 did, the closer we move past the bullshit we've dealt with for the last 10 years, and we get to real business, real valuations, real customers, real sales. Like, oh my god, like everything that we should have been hoping for, and instead of us hoping for, like, oh my goodness, I hope my meme gets to a $60 billion valuation and is worth more than Visa, then I can go buy a whole bunch of yachts while having put in zero work, because that is why people got into crypto, and that is freaking stupid.
The funny thing is we entertained this on the last stream, brother. I never talked to you about it, but I got you here live, so let's go ahead and talk about this a little bit. We're not tokenized. We don't need to be tokenized. Our protocol functions regardless of tokens. You take care of the token issue. That's it. We do not need a token on our app. But we were absolutely entertaining this a little bit. I'd love your viewpoint. If for some reason we were to decide to tokenize Aegis, and the only purpose of it would be so that people are allowed to invest in the success or failure of this particular app. Now, I had a couple of minds. I had a certain mindset about it. Bell had a certain mindset out of it. I'd love to hear your opinion. Over here in the crypto world, people don't take a lot of interest in things that they simply cannot invest in. They don't care. They don't, unless it's fun or entertaining or something like that. They really don't care. They care if it's investable or not. Now, if we were to do a small raise on, say, Outbid, it would get people vested in this token. Now, we could absolutely use the money to scale. The app's done. It's built. We're waiting to release. We're making it pretty, putting on the spinning rims and the dice on the mirror and all that stuff. But we're ready to release right now. We could literally release the app as is and push it out there, and we would get some customers. But we want to build the hype up a little bit. Now, we could use the money to scale. That's more servers. That's another developer. That's all of those things that you need money for. But they wouldn't be supporting some kind of mythical thing. They would literally be supporting that app. Now, one of the things that people tend to do in the crypto space when they are invested in something is that they talk about it. They talk about it on social media everywhere. I use the app. I think it's great. Here's the link. That is what you would get out of something like that. Now, our return, of course, I don't really want to give up any ownership points, dude, because I'm telling you, man, we're going to hit $1 billion on this thing. It's just a matter of time. Far left, far right, people who really, libertarians, people who care about their privacy, plus all the features that we're offering. I think we're going to make it regardless. We are going to do well. But it would not hurt to have some baked-in marketing. And that is basically the biggest value that I would see out of tokenizing something like this, is the fact that people are going to talk about it. Now, the revenue to the token is going to be generated directly from how many people are using the app. I mean, that's it. I'm pretty sure you could probably whip me up some kind of clever tokenomics model that says, exactly that. The revenue, the value proposition on this token is how many customers they have. Not how many people buy the token, but how many customers they have. So I want to ask you on that one, because I've gotten a lot of yeses and a lot of nos. I don't really want to tokenize, but if it would be in everybody's interest for us to do that, I would love to hear your opinion on it. So Eric, if you could, please give me your opinion on it.
Anything that can work without a token can work more efficiently with a token. And there are different ways that you can do the token to highlight what you want to. I'm very big on ethics, obviously background in philosophy, and I've dropped out of my Master's of Divinity program twice now, but my goal is to be a pastor someday. I'm very much against you keeping 100% of revenue, but also launching a token. We've seen most, if not like at least very many projects that actually generate revenue do that. Look at Uniswap. Like now they charged a fee on the front end and they're making a shit ton of money from it, and still nothing's going to the token. Like, oh, that means our token's not a security. I'm like, yeah, you're making sure that the token gets zero value. We need to hybridize these assets so that they can get some utility, like get some revenue share or something, and have that be part of how they generate the utility. Like that's, anyways, I digress. You're spot on with the marketing idea. Multi-level marketing's looked down upon because of how they were turned into Ponzi schemes. I'm a huge fan of single or double level marketing that doesn't get rich quick, but does do more efficient sales than not having somebody go sit in your room with Tupperware. Getting people invested does get them to care. One of the reasons that we don't get any shout out from Astrovault, the main Cosmos community doesn't care about us, is because they don't have a whole bunch of AXV. We didn't give advisory allocations to like everyone in Cosmos. I don't know Ethan Buchman and all these people. I've talked to Jay once. Like we don't have the connections. I don't work for the AA DAO. Like
I don't know any, and I don't know any of these fucking people, dude. I've seen their name on Twitter.
Exactly.
That's it.
And you don't see them around because what are they doing? They've got the yachts, and that sucks. But they're the ones that are controlling the keys, and they're not going to give the keys to people who don't bribe them. That's the situation we're in, and we're unwilling to change that. Now,
it is what it is, dude.
For tokenizing Aegis, my two things I would want to know is, like, one, you don't want to give away all of the revenue. So you need to be very clear about like what the token does control and what it doesn't. Is it going to get 20% of revenue that comes in get distributed to the token? If so, how? But you need to be really clear. I have a lot of clients now that are doing kind of 50-50, or they're doing like real world businesses. I know I have real businesses as clients, and the in-shop things go to regular sales, but any digital sales are able to drive to, and with the token, they get such and such a percentage of revenue. Fantastic. Something like that can be done. Another reason to tokenize is, other than gaining the marketing, doing things like referral fees to get more and more clients and spread faster, would be to decentralize Aegis to a point where it's safe from you. Now, obviously, you want it to be centralized, and we do the same thing for Astrovault, and I get it's a bit more Web3, but the idea would be like, okay, sure, your guys' files are safe from us. Like, we can't, like, if we get subpoenaed, nothing happens. However, the issue is, if you guys get subpoenaed and they're like, hey, your guys' privacy is too private, you need to get off the app store and we're going to lock you in prison, are they still able to recover their data? And the answer is yes, because things are backed up by Jackal. But if you're able to tokenize it and decentralize it even further, there can be a decentralized application running like on Web3, where you could go to a website and anybody can host this infrastructure, and people can still access their storage the same way that they're used to in your app without having to figure out how the wallets worked. Basically a backup UI that wouldn't be tied to you guys. And setting it up with a token and a DAO could give users that extra level of protection. Maybe it's needed, maybe it's not. That level of protection wouldn't allow it to stay in the Apple or Google Play Store, so it's probably less applicable to you guys than it is to others. I still think for the marketing, for the bootstrapping and the scaling, it's more efficient to do this and tokenize it and get capital, so you're actually kind of making money from your marketing, even if it is a little bit shorter term, than it is to like bootstrap the money when an equity sale, which is still going to be dilutive. You're still going to have to give so much up to try to get a Super Bowl commercial. We all want to get to the Super Bowl commercial eventually, but if you could raise ahead of time, all scale it together, then you can even do tokens to contribute to a Super Bowl commercial, which is where we
are. Yeah. The whole big thing is that typically, in my opinion, most apps, and particularly our big thing is that we're mobile. All right, we're mobile centric, and we are Web3 abstracted. You don't need to know Web3 wallets, crypto. You don't even need to know crypto exists to use our app. All right, it is built for Web2 people. That is where we're marketing this thing. That's where we're pushing it out, is to Web2 people, and that's fine. That's all they need to know. They don't need to know any of the ins and outs. Now, if they really want to get into it, sure, we'll get into the nitty gritty. I'll tell them 3 times redundancy. Your price is simply better. And that's what you're going to care about, is that you simply get a better deal here with us than you do with anybody else. That's what Web2 people care about, saving money. We're going to save you money. If storage matters to you, if privacy matters to you, if all this stuff matters to you, we're the better deal. I hope you use it. I can't make you use it. And if you don't, that's your call, man. iCloud is fine. If you like sharing your information with Big Cloud, which you do, sure, man, knock yourself out. If you go with us, it's a kind of a different thing. But that's kind of the whole thing, man, is look, man, we're a crypto channel. The podcast, we're a crypto channel. We talk about crypto. We do all these things in crypto. And the very first app that we build and push out and release has nothing to do with crypto. It's all blockchain based, every single bit of it, but it has absolutely nothing to do with crypto. So is that going to be... I'm kind of concerned if that's going to kick us in the ass or not. We're not well known. We're not a big channel. We're not CryptoCito. We're not any of these other talking head shill bullshit people. But we actually built something that is incredibly noteworthy. It is a very, very, very good system. And I don't want to exclude anybody. That's the kind of thing. People are not going to get out there and talk about Aegis because it makes me money. But I think they would talk about Aegis if it makes them a little bit too. I think that would get them out. And the ultimate goal for me is just to have people using the app, not buying the token. If you want it, great. If you don't, doesn't make a shit bit. I don't even know, man. Look, if I was going to design up tokenomics, I'd go to you anyway. And I'd have to say, look, man, how are we going to do this to make this reasonable and fair to everybody who happens to come in? I don't know. Maybe we could cut a special deal. Monthly rates are cheaper if you pay us with the Aegis token as opposed to anything else.
You have tiers the same way a casino does.
Yeah, so maybe we could do something like that. I don't know. It would have to be in everybody's big interest. I don't need a big raise, dude. I don't need a big raise. But whatever we do raise those tokens, if this app does what I believe it will do and what I can make it do and what I can push it to do, dude, because I got deep fucking pockets. I can market everywhere. If that does, I think people are going to be taken care of on this one. The only person who could rug this token would be me. And I'm not going to rug Power Bottom, and I'm certainly not going to rug my own thing, man. I think it goes to character at that point. And I've never done anything like that.
I trust people that don't go by anonymous handles a lot more than I trust people that are anons.
How could you possibly do that, man? How could you have an entire Anon team and people get behind them? They're like, oh, no, I believe in Nutsack01. He's a great guy, man. He's been posting for a long, long time.
I always assume that
trust him with my buddy.
Always assume that they've rugged 10 times before. Wolf, the guy who started Juno, that wasn't his first rug.
It was not his first rug, dude. That's a funny thing.
Oh my god! If you believe in what you're building, you'd be proud to stand up for it. My name is Eric Weiss, and I don't use a pseudonym. I don't have alts on Twitter. It's me. I stand up for what I believe in. I'll say it with my damn chest.
My name is Scott Pottigill. I live in Des Moines, Iowa. You can Google me. I'm an LLC. I'm the CEO, which means dick, by the way. Everyone, I'm a CEO. I'm a CEO of an LLC, dude. All right, anybody could do that. It's not a big deal. No, man, I'm right out there and open and honest about all this other stuff. And if anybody's ever going to get heat for this, it's going to be me. And you can find me, dude. You want to sue me? Sue me. Go for it, man. My lawyers are ready. Your lawyers are ready, man. We'll just have a go. But I hope that I never give anybody a reason to, man, that I simply provide a good product and a good thing at what we say. I think honesty in crypto, man, I don't think it's a bad thing, man. Look,
honesty everywhere, dude.
The funny part about it kind of bugs me because we never ever get enough credit. You guys need to be thankful that we're all the good guys, that the good guys are actually over here on this side of the camera, because if we weren't, we can manipulate this fucking market, man. I could play this goddamn market. I could play it like a fucking fiddle, man. What is that? It was like the original Batman, man. I played or that terrible one with the penguin. I played this market like a harp from hell. That's what I did. It'd be so easy, man. We all take the high road and we all take the difficult road, man, because it's in everybody's interest to do it as opposed to just our own personal interest. Anyway, Belle, you've been quiet for a long time, Belle. Do we have any questions, comments, or concerns?
We do. We have a few more.
Okay. Go ahead.
Idiot Fish coming in with a comment. If Archway does recover in price, it's going to buy a lot of Jackal on the way up to balance the Jackal Arch pool. Lots of capital is great.
What do you think about that, Eric? Is that correct?
Yeah, if Arch shoots back up to like 20, 30 cents,
Oh.
that sends Jackal back over $1. That sends AXV to 40 cents.
Absolutely.
Nobody is hoping really good for Arch more than me.
More than me. Honestly, God,
More than
man, look,
yeah.
I would absolutely offer them a piece and an app that's already built, not something that's going to be ready in 18 months or never, not vaporware. I'd offer them a piece in this just so that they can come up and regain some credibility with the entire marketplace and saying, we spot value. This is value. This is the future of Web3, and this is where it should be going. I don't even need their money, man. I don't give a fuck about it. But
and this is what Griffin's saying. Like, if you guys are in our Telegram, then you probably saw him pop in the other day.
I read all of his epiphanies.
Yeah.
That's all I got, man.
But he was bringing up, he's like, look, you guys should be like rooting for Archway. Like, if Archway succeeds, like, that's good for you guys. Yeah, it means AXP goes way up. It means Jackal goes way up. But it also doesn't mean that we're going to sit by and let them do absolutely whatever they want when our lives are in the balance, honestly, more than theirs are, because they've got runway and we don't. And like, they're a lot of times they're not making the right decision. So yeah, we want them to go up. If they're not doing it, we have the right to be angry.
And again, right now, man, look, I'm giving you a piece of what will be an incredibly successful app that is already built. You didn't have to fund the development. I funded the fucking development. If you want to help me scale, at Scott@ThePodocasts.com. Let's discuss terms. I promise you I'm bringing Eric in on this conversation. He's going to make sure that I get the best deal. But you guys can literally change your entire direction right now. Because this is, for us, this is number 1 of 4. And once we prove out the concept, there's going to be more and more and more. Think about that, Archway. How cool it would be is if the people who have nifty mobile app ideas that utilize blockchain are coming to you. You could be the hub. You could be the epicenter of what crypto is supposed to be, as opposed to another goddamn NFT platform. It is all right there for you. I offer it up. I don't need your money, man. I don't care. But if you guys want to start changing your direction, and you know we've been at odds, man. If you want to start changing your direction, let's talk. Belle, please carry on. Yes, sir.
Do you think that there is a chance that Archway could succeed and Astrovault fail?
That Archway could succeed and Astrovault fail? No. You guys are running in lockstep, man. The only thing holding down Astrovault right now is Archway. It is what it is.
We own over 3 million Arch. Like look on the protocol and liquidity page. We're earning.
You own 3 million Arch.
Look at the POL.
That's all I got to say. I'm sorry. I got it.
And we're earning more constantly. Like, if Archway succeeds, like, not only does that bode well for Astrovault because Astrovault's the primary application on it, but like, if Archway succeeds, AXV definitively has to succeed.
Yep.
They boast publicly having over 1 year runway. Astrovault is per capita, like the AXV token, far more liquid than Arch, or honestly than any token I've seen.
Mm-hmm.
Like, AXV is an incredibly liquid token for our market cap. Our market cap's under $2 million.
I know you guys are dirt cheap. I could buy you right now.
Following this logic,
yeah,
if they have over 1 year runway, they cannot succeed without us succeeding. And they can get their money back in a year after vesting and even use it for added liquidity on their exchange. What would be the risk right now in investing in Astrovault?
Well, no, there's
for them.
For them, none. There's no risk.
Dude. That's not true.
And you know what? Let me finish my thought. Yeah. All right, like, I'm a little bit liquored up right now. You guys have seen me pour this glass 3 times. It's a long stream, man. I'm going to get through it. I don't consider that there's a lot of risk to them investing in you guys right now because you are actually the figurehead. Archway is out there, but Archway is looked at extremely negatively because their token is absolutely in the shitter, and you understand market perception, market sentiment. The only thing that matters is token go up. I'm of the opinion that they made a great big buy of their own token today, and my opinion is that they made it right there. So either you, and that was at 14.16 Central. So either Astrovault made that big ass purchase that drove them from where they are up to above 4, or they bought back their own token. Something happened right at that very moment. The chart doesn't lie; it's sitting there. The only thing that's generating any real revenue for them, aside from Archie's, and come on, man, let's get nuts, dude. NFTs are dead and dying. The only thing that's generating any real revenue for them over there is actually Archway. I'm sorry, Astrovault. I know because I make a lot of transactions on your decks every single day, and guess what I pay in? I pay in Arch. So, no, I don't consider them it very risky for them to invest in you right now because you are effectively all they got, and you are actually a functioning app. They're not investing in you to pay your fucking validator set because you don't have a goddamn validator set. Crypto is fucking changed, guys. It's changing right in front of your fucking eyes. And if you're not pushing towards apps right now, you are literally bleeding your own goddamn wallets. I never say this shit. This is what happens when we do long streams. But you say that it's incredibly risky, Eric. Please tell me why.
I'm not saying it's incredibly risky, but yes, we follow the logic that
Yep.
Archway can't succeed without Astrovault succeeding. So how can Astrovault not succeed? And it's if Archway doesn't. But if they believe in themselves, if they believe that they're going to succeed, if they're right about the idea that they're going to succeed, then there would be no risk in investing in Astrovault. And this has been the argument that our team has made that's really, really frustrated us. We built here for 2 years. We didn't even want to go multi-chain. We had to pick up grants because he's tweeting about having 2 years runway, and we have no money. We have had no salary for like a really long time.
Yeah.
And we're like, we have to do something. None of your VCs have come in with a single dollar to the app layer. Like this is a problem. So if you believe that you can right the ship, then you have to know that we're the safest possible investment for you. And if you won't make that investment, how am I supposed to believe that you're going to turn the ship around?
I for what it's worth, dude, I think Aegis would be a very good investment for them as well, man. It would be fantastic, man. Chain agnostic.
I've got 10 apps that will go wherever I tell them right now. We could make Archway the hub again. We asked them to. We're like, dude, invest in us. Give us a stipend to come over and lead this ecosystem like we've been doing anyways. We can make you as the hotspot because there still isn't they raised a whole bunch of money on the idea of getting developers paid. That's still a need. There are a bunch of brilliant developers building a whole bunch of cool stuff that would be happy to give up their app chains, that would be happy to change their narrative and go to a place where they're cared about, where they have a say, where they're equipped, and they just have a low salary so that they can provide for their families while they build the shit that they care about. And if you believe in your vision of what you raised on, of giving that to developers, then do it, because that's still needed. And you can. And you still have enough money to do it. You still have enough time to do it. And you shouldn't, after a year mainnet. You shouldn't still be in a position where you could, but they are. But it starts with believing in themselves, and the first bid for that would be investing in Astrovault.
And the thing that frustrates me more than anything else is that they are one of the very few app chains right now that still have enough capital that they can make this happen. This should be the app chain. Archway should be the thing that is leading the way. They should be the place where all of these little apps are coming together that people actually use, that are providing a service that people pay for. And there's your fucking revenue. Not people buying tokens, but people providing are paying for services that are very, very useful. Nobody is even thinking this direction, dude. I don't think you understand, Eric, how frustrated I make that, or this makes me, is the fact that you guys are prime position to do exactly this. I'm right, and whatever you else are thinking, man, you are absolutely wrong. You do this, and you have changed the entire crypto landscape. You have changed everything, and you are positioned to do it. Now, will it help carry Jackal? You bet. But I'm going to help carry Jackal because every goddamn customer that we get on Aegis is a terabyte of data stored over there on Jackal. They make money. They're partnered with Astrovault. Astrovault makes money. Astrovault is our pay rail. Every single person that comes in gets a goddamn VIG for it, and every single transaction that occurs, Archway gets a piece of it. For fuck's sake, it is right there. I mean, it is right there. I don't think you understand how frustrated I am with this. If I had the money to buy out Archway, I would, and I would do it exactly the way that we're talking about right now.
Yeah.
Because it's right there. You could change fucking everything. Don't you guys see this? Or are you still too busy trying to sort out what Kujira did? These are useful apps. You would have 15 different goddamn apps on your phone. Every single one of them. Blockchain-based apps that are driving value to things that you invest in. The fuck is the matter with people, man? It is right there. Oh, God, it breaks my heart, dude. How many times have we had this conversation? It's right there. All they got to do is get out of their own fucking way.
Instead, we can't pay for an audit. Like, we can't go to other community pools to bootstrap liquidity because our only prop tanked on Archway when it was a prop that they wanted to support on the Atom Hub. It's like, if you don't believe in it, then don't believe in it. Like, I feel so handcuffed. It's frustrating. And yeah, they've given more to us than anybody else.
They have.
Where's everybody else?
If
you believe in paying devs, then why haven't you? And so I hope Griffin comes on the show. Like, I want him to come here. Like, I want him to be transparent. I want him to fix this because he can. Because Archway can be so damn cool. I want to
say the same shit before, dude. Look, man, I used to be a talking head. No, I'm not. Now I'm a developer. Now I'm not a developer. I pay people to develop things that I think up. All right, that's what we do. But I really, really, really want Griffin on the other side so I can make the same impassioned argument that I just made. Get out of your own way, dude. Just see the future. Because if you are looking as if this was 2.5 to 3 years ago, where NFTs were the rage, where airdrops were the thing, where all you're doing is baking off from shit that happened 3 years ago, this space moves incredibly fast. And the next direction that it's going to be doing is mobile and Web3 abstracted, and you can set the goddamn tone for it. You could be the place. Everybody bitching about Cosmos. They can say, yeah, there's Cosmos, and then there's Archway who's doing it well.
I hate
it's right there, babe.
I hate that we come across as assholes and dicks and being uncomfortable to work with when we're the ones that are being nice, that are trying, that are fighting for success.
To them, everything that
like when I got basically like pushed out, like I got a golden handshake, I got a nice severance by them. They knew that I was a very high performing like team member, but a lot of people were frustrated by me having conflicts of interest, and I was very frustrated by them not having conflicts of interest because that meant they didn't care enough about the ecosystem to bring other stuff in.
Exactly.
At the end of the day, a whole bunch of people were happy to milk paychecks and didn't really care about the success. If you care about the success, it comes across. I want people to succeed. I come across as an asshole about Kujira because look what they did to their people. I was trying to save them from this. And if we don't make this an educational experience right now, then they're going to fall for it a third time because they still don't get why it's not safe. And yeah.
They got burned to the fucking ground on Luna. I know I did too. And I learned from that. That's where very solid reason that I've never touched Kujira, because I said it's the same fucking thing. They rebuilt Anchor, which performed splendidly until it didn't. And right now, you just experienced it. Guys, we have got to change everything about the way we look at crypto. It has got to fucking change, man, or this shit's just going to happen over and over and over. The things that are not going to struggle here. And by the way, the best thing about being an app builder that's utilizing blockchain is I don't need an audit. You know why? Because Jackal had an audit. Because Akash had an audit. Because Sentinel had an audit. So all their audits came back and said, yep, we're Ducky. We're aces. So I get to utilize products that have already paid for all of the back end. I get to utilize all of those and make money on their efforts. They already paid for all of this shit. The only audit that I'm missing is Astrovault. That's the only one. And I hope that they build my pay rail very, very well because, they haven't been audited. So I just got to hope for the best on that, dude.
We want to be like, nobody tests like we do. Like oh my God, if you saw the testing and stuff we did on TimeFlux pools, we're very, very focused on this. So like, we're confident it's safe, but we're building stuff that's never been built before. We would love more eyes on it.
And I, as an investor in Astrovault, I'd be very, very. I would love an audit, Eric. I'm not going to pay for it. I'm not going to give you $300,000.
Yeah, it's literally going to be like $300,000, and L1's getting audits at this point are like $30K, and it's because they're just forking stuff. Like, no joke, Astrovault has built more than probably anybody outside of Jackal. just because of what they had to build for their storage service. Like, we've built more than all of the L1s that that raise 8 figures. We have built more.
You know what? This is the longest stream we've done in a long time. I feel like we've just popped the cork on this fucking bottle of champagne here, dude. But yeah, this is a long stream. You need to go raise your daughters. Belle, can we get through our questions or comments or anything we have left? If nothing else, I hope that you guys can appreciate the passion. If we wanted to game the system, we would all already done it. All right. I leverage trade very hyper aggressively. I have no problem earning money. But we're very, very passionate about this because, God, man, you only get these kind of opportunities. Lifetime opportunities are very, very rare, and it's sitting right there. I know I'm hard on Archway because I think that they won't get out of their own way. And if they would, this thing would be a fucking monster. I mean, this thing would be a monster. Anyway, Belle, please.
All right, Microman coming in next. Regarding the pay rail, is any data about the buyer stored anywhere? Would it be possible to identify that I've bought something? For example, what will the card company or bank know?
Yeah. So if you're paying with credit or debit card, there's going to be a receipt for you and your credit or debit card company. And we're going to make it very straightforward. Like, you're buying storage or you're buying a subscription to such and such. It's a pretty simple concept how we're doing this. It's been very, very difficult, not even on the legal side, on just getting banks and other payment processors and whatnot to work with us, just because they hear the word crypto. And it has been so many meetings and so much work to make this work. We have to be as straightforward as possible. Like, we're not hiding shit. We're not trying to allow you to purchase weird shit. Now, we're not trying to let you you can buy a gift card NFT and then you could turn that into an investment vehicle. It's not a way around KYC. It is specifically a way to purchase goods and services with a credit card the way you usually do. So yeah, your credit card, debit card companies are going to have all that information. Scott's not.
No, and you know what the best part about all this is you have to do all of this fucking work, all of this stress, all the blood, sweat, and tears. I just get to make money on your efforts, dude. This is the way, all right? This is the way in crypto. You could have fucking built apps. You said, no, I'm going to build a DEX, and then I'm going to build a non-KYC pay rail that isolates these apps, crypto apps, from actually knowing who you are. I get to just capitalize on all of your efforts, dude. I'm telling you, man. Look, we may have, I say we took the hard way. We did not, dude. We took the easy way. We took the obvious way. But we're first movers, man. So you get what you get. Belle, please carry on. Eric, keep up the good work.
All right. G. Torres, I think it would be a smart idea to have someone like Naomi Brockwell, a mostly privacy-based YouTube channel, market Aegis in the future. It makes a lot of sense to me, or other YouTube channel creators to have a following that really care about privacy.
I will never, ever, ever advertise with a YouTube person unless they are a very, very strong advocate and personally use the product. Guys, look, man, this goes to integrity for me, man. Look, I understand how advertising works, man. ABC doesn't give a fuck what Coca-Cola does or doesn't do. We're not going to do that, man. We're going to be different. If Belle and I have to go and knock on doors, we will go and knock on doors, man. I got no problem with that. But I'm not going to, I will pay somebody for the time and effort that they put into it, because I understand that they put their credibility on the line when they start talking about Aegis. I got no problem with that. But if they do not believe in the product, they do not believe in what we're doing here, then I don't want to use them. I would rather you pay 50 very, very small YouTube personalities that actually believe in the product, that I ask them, show me the app on your phone, and they pull it up and I see Aegis there. It's like, fuck, you're my guy because you use it. You already see the value in it. After that, when you go to talk about it, man, it's going to be all organic. I like the app because of this. I like this because of this. But simply paying a talking head that has no vested interest in our product or what we're doing tells me right now that you don't give a fuck about privacy. You know, if I ask to see what you're using as storage on your phone and I see iCloud, it's like, man, we're done. All right, because you're just doing it for the money. Now, I understand the way, you know, business works, guys. I've been in this field for a long fucking time. I get it. But I only want to work with advocates, people who use it, people who support it, people who believe in it. Those you need, and I got to pay for your time, no problem. But I'm not just going to randomly pick somebody who's never fucking heard of us, never has no idea. They're going to read a script that I wrote. Fuck that. I'll do that, man. I'll go on more. I will go anywhere I have to go to make that shit happen. But if they're big fans in all of these things that they're advocating for, then I'll make sure they hear of us. If they like it, then they're going to say, hey, I'd like to pitch this. Would you, hook us up? Sure, I'll do that. But anyway, hope that answered the question. Bell, carry on.
Idiot Fish. Eric, is there anything we can do from the retail investor level to help with the Astrovault Arch issues or to help Astrovault in general?
I don't know. I love that you asked that question. Thank you.
It's a good question, dude.
I don't like being a dick. I like the guys at Archway. I want things to work out. I can't pay my team and it sucks. I don't know. I want Archway to succeed. I know that if they succeed, we succeed, which is great. But we can't just sit around and pretend like things are hunky dory. So however you can help us get funding for our team would be helpful. I don't know if that's pressuring Archway or if it's asking them what they need. Lord knows I've tried. I set up the marketing DAO. I set up the liquidity DAO. A lot of what's in there, I had a lot of hands in designing. Lord knows the tokenomics. They should have that fully built out, hopefully soon, unless Griven's still out on Twitter saying, hey, let's copy Kujira's tokenomics or something. Objective.
He never said
we
shit
need
like that,
to find a way to work together. They're probably pissed off at me for being loud and dissenting. I don't know what else to do. I need my team to be paid, and it's not happening. So I don't know, guys. If you have other ecosystems that are looking for good apps, we have the best DEX model, period. We're way more expensive than most things are. It's way more code. We built it from scratch. Everything else is forked. There's a reason we're the only profitable DEX. It's not something that's just, an easy switch to flick and everything else works. If you know other ecosystems that are serious, Nibiru seems serious, then fantastic. If you guys want to make things work with Archway, which is my preference, I want it to work with Archway. I'm pot committed. I've spent the last 2.5 years of my life really, really leaning in there. I want it to work, and it can. So maybe I don't know.
You know what? I'm gonna cut you off here, Eric. I'm gonna ask a very hard question. I'm gonna see if you give me the answer or not. What's your burn rate?
As a company, right now. 46,000 a month. That's including a PR firm that we recently added. Okay. Maybe 44.
All right. So what can you do in a year? What can you do in a year if your burn rate is taken care
of? If it's the same burn rate, we can deploy in a lot more Cosmos spaces. We can take outbid quite a few other places. It's about ready on Solana already. And then I don't know if it's then take Astrovault to Solana or if it's just keep focusing on scaling outbid other places and work on abstracting Astrovault so that it doesn't really matter where it's deployed. So I'm not going to promise too much, but we can definitely do multiple outbid deployments. Plus, we're already going to be deployed on 3 different chains by the end of October, as Astrovault is.
I think the absolute money shot for you guys right now, personal opinion, what the fuck do I know, dude? I'm just talking head. Get Astrovault over on Solana and start offering a shit ton of meme coins right there through Outbid, dude. You have got to see this. I'm sure you do, man. Most of the market, particularly the crypto, specifically the crypto market, is pure gambling. People do not have a long-term vision of this. They don't. They want to buy MAGA. They want to buy Biden. They want to buy all this other shit. You guys make money on every single fucking transaction. So it seems to me that your focus should be getting to where most of those transactions are taking place. The counter to that, of course, would be if Archway actually started opening up to a whole shitload of apps that need a fucking pay rail. Because in this case, they are providing services, and you guys are getting a VIG. They're getting a VIG. Everybody's getting a piece of this. I don't understand how people are missing this, how this is still not there. You're either going to get into the gambling element of it, or you are going to provide services. That is the way that crypto should be moving forward, period. And the people who do it now, everybody's going to be chasing them 18 months from now because these guys already figured it out. So it's already there right now, and you have got to look to the future. So you're either going to get into the meme coin business or you are going to build apps. It's one of those two things. Very few people are positioned right now to do what Archway can do, and I cannot understand how they're missing this. Anyway, carry on, Belle.
All right, next question coming in from Bud. Will Astrovault be able to compete with Radium and Meteora on Solana? Is it worth building there?
Oof.
Everything's worth building. It's a matter of triage. If we were to build on Solana, like, we need BD relations so that people choose to launch on us. We need partnerships. I have some connections to Solana, and we're working on it. But if we had a lot more money, it would probably be worth building there more. Like, we need the server costs. If we're talking about onboarding now hundreds of thousands of users, when we did the airdrop to Archway, like, our servers were bogged down, and we changed infra providers from that point and whatnot. Like, we should have handled the load that we experience, but we aren't at a place where we can scale that amount because we can't afford the bills that come with that scaling. Now, obviously, if we get that kind of trade fees, it'll come, but we need to be prepared for it ahead of time. So in the right situation, oh my God, it's definitely worth it. Our rent-a-devs that we're working with right now are begging us to go build all of Astrovaults on Solana. And we're like, it's an option for us, but we need to weigh over costs and whatnot. We're over we're done with committing to people funds that we think we're going to have, because every time somebody told us we were going to give us funding, they didn't.
Belle, come on, give us something positive here. There's got to be a positive comment in here.
This next question is actually looking forward and positive, in my opinion. So G Torres with the last question for the evening. What's the next chain Astrovault will be on?
Neutron.
That's it, dude. That is such a downer answer, dude. She served it up for you. You're supposed to say Neutron because of X and Y and Z. Is this your first? Have you never done a live stream before, dude? Is this your first one?
Sorry,
no, I mean, that's cool, dude.
It's probably one of the longest ones he's ever been on. So
it's the longest one anybody's ever been on, dude. We haven't kicked out one of these in a long, long time. I think it's necessary. I think it was due. And Saturday seems like a good time to do it, man. Everybody's loose. Everybody's drunk. It's a wonderful time. And we have made $1.85 in advertising revenue just for doing this. This is what our time is worth. So for the 2.5 hours that me and Belle have put in here, we've made about 80 cents, dude. That is fantastic. Belle, did you say that's it? We're all done?
That was the last question. Yes, we're done.
Okay. I'm going to turn it over to Eric. Eric, I know you had big plans tonight, brother. I appreciate you joining us short notice. Personally, I think that we put out more mindset information tonight than I think we've done in a long, long time. But I'll turn it over to you. You know the drill here, brother. Talk as long as you want. When you're done, say, I'm all done. I'll take it up. We'll talk it up. We'll talk it out.
Thank you guys for having me back on. Community, as always. Thanks for the awesome questions. Thanks for hearing us out. I don't mean to be a dick. I swear I'm a nice guy. I have lots of friends. I am a normal dude. I want success, and not even just like I want business success. I want to be rich. I want to do good things the right way. I got into crypto because I thought about like how it can make missions so much more efficient, how it can make us safe from like big government, where we can have things like Jackal that I think are really going to change the world. And I can't develop things like Jackal. What I am good at is building different things that can help these brilliant projects succeed, and that's my goal here with Astrovault. We need help. If my personality, if how I act on social media or whatnot is holding us back, then please let me know. Like, I don't care. People can come and attack me. I'm going to be fine. I have thick skin. I have a wife who loves me, who will never leave. I've got 3 kids who look up to me and love me no matter what. So like I've got more than I could ever ask for. I'm trying to make a difference with my life. I think this is a way to do it. So if I come across as a dick on social media, know that my goal is to help people. And unfortunately, long-term helping people might mean short-term pain. Like, people might lose their life savings in Kujira the same way they lost their life savings in Terra. And you can see the video I made on the Terra collapse on the old Secret Code podcast channel 2 years ago.
That came up, dude.
It breaks my heart. And I'm trying to stop this from happening. And I hope that that comes through instead of just like, oh, Eric's an asshole dancing on people's graves. Like, no, if you don't learn now, you're not going to learn, because you're going to move on from Kujira and go on to the next thing. Like, oh, well, this is the exact same model, but these devs aren't going to leverage, so it's fine. It's like, no, that's not the issue. That's just what highlighted the issue. Terra was going to collapse even if it wasn't attacked. Like, oh, well, we don't know that. It's like, yes, we do know that. It just happened to collapse when it was attacked. You need safer models. I'm really damn good at understanding what models are safe and when they're safe and how they're not safe. Seriously. So hopefully we can make the world a better place together. I'm done. Thank you guys.
Wow, man, that got out there, dude. I love it, man. I love the humbleness. You never see that. You definitely don't see that in this space. You don't see it on this channel, dude. Yeah, look, man, you guys wanna help? You want to get it out there? You want to really start generating some conversation that cannot be ignored? Go to Twitter, tag Arch. Say, hey, it's time, guys. Look, man, we need to have an accounting. We need to actually put the heads together and do something positive, because there are very, very, very few opportunities to affect real change. I know that sounds like a canned statement, man, but it's not in this case. If we could get all these people in a room together, talk reasonably, talk rationally, explain the future that they seem to be missing. Keep tagging them on Twitter, man. Just keep going out there and just be relentless. That's it. That's all you can do. They cannot ignore everybody. And if you do that, if you pitch in, everybody's gonna do well here, man. And it's not just about money. It's about actually changing the way that crypto is right now, because it's not Kujira, man. That's the old way. That's the old collapsing model of getting what you can in the shortest amount of time that you can, and then moving on to the next thing. It's got to be more than that. So if you want to do it, keep tagging Archway, keep pulling them up, get them to engage. You get them to engage, we get them on here, we all have a good long conversation about what success could actually be and what it would look like. So you do that, everybody's helping. Bell, talk us up, take us out. Had a wonderful time, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. Go, Bell.
All right. Again, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who joined us this evening, we cannot say thank you guys enough. We do sincerely appreciate each and every one of you guys and the comments and questions you throw our way. Now, with that being said, we are going to be back on Monday
noonish.
at 12 p.m. Central Standard with the team from Lavana.
We are.
In between now and Monday, if you guys have any other comments, questions, or concerns, definitely don't hesitate to reach out to Scott or myself, Scott at ThePodocasts.com or Bella at ThePodocasts.com, and we'll get those answered for you. Again, we can't thank you enough, guys, and we'll see you on Monday.
We are dropping new videos and podcasts every Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday. And be sure to look for us on Instagram, Twitter, and Parler at ThePodocasts. Also, visit our page at ThePodocasts.com, all one word,